Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a journey, a microscopic safari, really. We're going to dive deep into the most vital and honestly often overlooked highway system in your entire body, that river of life that's flowing inside you right now, your blood.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the basics. You know, what blood actually is. Then we'll get into its many critical jobs, see where it's made, and even follow the incredible life of a single cell. And finally, we'll take a look at what happens when this perfectly balanced system, well, goes wrong.
All right, let's just dive right in. And we'll start with a question you probably think you know the answer to.
I mean, it's so easy to just picture it as a simple red liquid, right? But the reality is, it's a complex, living tissue. Think of it more like a bustling internal highway, just packed with all these specialized cells and their vital cargo.
And if we break it down, it's kind of surprising. Your blood is more than half liquid. That yellowish stuff, the plasma, is mostly water, sure, but it's also the delivery truck for everything from hormones and nutrients to proteins. Now that other 45%, well, that's where the real action is. That's the cells.
And here they are, the key players in that 45%. You've got your red cells, which are your oxygen carriers. Then you have the white cells. They're the soldiers of your immune system. And last but not least, you've got these tiny little platelets, the ones that rush to the scene to form clots whenever you get a cut.
And this river of life we're talking about, it's not some tiny stream. For the average adult, you're looking at 5 to 6 liters of blood. That's about 8% of your total body weight. That's a huge part of what makes you, you, and it's working 24/7 to keep you alive.
So, let's talk about what it actually does. This system is the ultimate multitasker, juggling a few incredibly important jobs all at the same time.
Really, everything your blood does boils down to these 3 critical jobs: transportation, regulation, and protection.
First up, and it's the most famous one, transportation. Your blood is like the body's premier courier service. Red blood cells are delivering oxygen from your lungs to literally every part of you. And at the same time, the plasma is carrying nutrients and hormones, while also picking up the trash, like carbon dioxide, to get it out of there.
Second, it's a master regulator. It's constantly moving heat around to keep your body temperature stable. It's got these amazing built-in systems to keep your body's pH perfectly balanced, and it manages fluid levels so your cells have just the right environment to thrive. It's all about balance.
And finally, it's your personal bodyguard. Your white blood cells are always on patrol, hunting down and destroying invading bacteria and viruses. And your platelets? They're like the first responders, plugging any leaks to make sure you don't lose any of this precious stuff. It's an amazing system, but these cells don't live forever, so your body needs a constant, fresh supply. So where do all these incredible cells even come from?
Well, they are born through a process with a pretty big name, hematopoiesis. But it's happening right now, deep inside your bones, in that soft tissue we call bone marrow. Just imagine this non-stop cellular factory, running 24/7, churning out new cells.
And the whole process starts with one incredible master cell. It's called the pluripotent stem cell, and it is the great ancestor of every single blood cell in your body. It's basically a blank slate that can become anything it needs to be.
From that one master cell, 2 main paths emerge. There's the myeloid line, which creates your red cells, platelets, and most of your general-purpose white cells. And then there's the lymphoid line. This one's more specialized. It creates the B and T cells. Think of them as the elite special forces of your immune system, the ones that develop a memory for past invaders.
Okay, to really bring all this to life, let's actually follow the journey of the most common cell in your blood, the humble but absolutely essential red blood cell.
So this is the production line, and over about 5 days the cell changes. And this is the crazy part, it actually ejects its own nucleus. Why would it do that? Well, to make as much room as physically possible for its vital cargo. And that cargo is a protein called hemoglobin. Each, and I mean each, red blood cell is packed with hundreds of millions of these things. The key to the whole operation is the iron atom sitting right at the core of each one. That little bit of iron is what physically grabs onto oxygen in the lungs. And get this, it's that iron that gives blood its characteristic bright red color.
120 days. That's it. That is the average lifespan of a single, hardworking red blood cell. After about 4 months of squeezing through tiny capillaries and making millions and millions of deliveries, it just starts to wear out. So here's its entire life story. It's born in the marrow, it works tirelessly for 120 days,
And then it's finally pulled from circulation by the spleen. But even in death, it has one last job. Your body is an expert recycler, and it salvages that valuable iron to go and build the next generation of cells. Nothing goes to waste.
So what we have here is this marvel of efficiency and recycling. But this whole intricate system, its balance is fragile. And when things go wrong, the consequences can be pretty serious.
When the production of red blood cells goes down, or if the cells themselves don't work correctly, it can lead to a condition called anemia. And we're not talking about some rare disease here. It is the single most common blood condition on the entire planet.
And what's really crucial to understand is that anemia isn't just about having fewer red blood cells. It's really about a lower capacity to deliver oxygen. That's why the main symptoms are things like fatigue, weakness, and shortness of breath. Your body is literally being starved of the oxygen it needs to function.
You know, this whole incredible journey from a single stem cell to this complex, life-sustaining system, it's all happening invisibly inside of us right now. It is such a powerful reminder of the intricate, amazing biological machinery that keeps us going every moment of every day. And it really makes you wonder, what other marvels are we just taking for granted?